We start the process by peeling our swede. Now take the time to remove all of the green skin from the swede. We want to be left with a beautiful golden yellow swede. Once we've done that, we chop this into half and we remove the hard edges, so top and tail it. Once we've done that, slice the swede into about 1 inch thick slices and then cut those lengthwise, so we're left with about 1 inch squared sticks, almost like big thick chips. Dice those lengthways, so we're left with very small little inch thick cubes. The typical sized cubes, vegetables that you see in a Cornish pasty, of course. Now we move on to the onion, do exactly the same here, and as you can see, my sister's technique for chopping vegetables is a lot better than mine, so please take her lead. And same again with the carrot. Take the time to peel the carrot, top and tail it, and then just slowly work your way through it. Halve it, halve the halves, and chop those into the same little inch cubes as we did with our swede and our onion. And now we move on to the potato, exactly the same again. Take the time to peel the potato, removing any blemishes and skin. Just dice through them. We want the potato, the swede, the carrot and the onion to be all fairly similar in size, so that it all cooks evenly inside the pasty. Now put the vegetables to one side and we want to prepare our beef. So again, we're going to be looking to use flank or rump. Remove all the sinew, trim off all the big chunks of fat, and then just start to slowly work your way through it, cutting it into very thin slices so that it cooks nice and evenly in the pasty and quickly as well. So work your way through it, nice thin slices, and then we put that to one side along with our vegetables. We just want to take a bowl, add our vegetables and season those generously. And while we're making our pastry, we put those to one side just so that the salt starts to remove some of the moisture and this starts to become the base of the sauce for the filling. So while our vegetables are sitting to one side, we want to take about 100 grams of flour, and then we add 50 grams of fat. Half butter, half lard is what my sister uses for this particular recipe, and just slowly start pinching it and working it through and bringing it all together. With our pastry, we're looking for a nice short crust, but we don't want to work it too much and build up too much gluten and too much elasticity. We want enough in the dough so that it doesn't crack when we're baking it in the oven. And you can add some warm water to this as you go, just so that you can get the perfect consistency. As you work it, you'll feel it starting to come together. Don't overwork it. We want it to be a nice short crust pastry. So once your dough is ready, we put that into some cling film and pop it into a fridge for a good hour or two to firm up. And then we take our vegetables, we add our diced beef, a little sprinkle of flour, and we want to grate in a dry stock cube to season. Use a beef stock cube, and also just add some flecks of butter into the mix. And then we take our dough, we flour our board, and we want to roll our dough into a nice sized circle. So slowly start to roll that out. Again, don't overwork it. And then the best way is to use a plate. Flour the edges of the plate so it doesn't stick, and just cut around the sides so you've got a nice even circle. And then once you have, you can roll out this circle to the size you need. We don't want the pastry to be too thick, but we also don't want it to be too thin. We're looking for about 1 centimetre or so in thickness. And then to one side, we add our pasty mix. A nice heaped pile in there, not too much. We want it to be nice and generously filled. And then with a little egg wash, just put a little touch around the sides of the pasty so that it will stick. And then we fold over the edges. And now the most difficult bit of the whole process, the crimping. My sister's got her own little technique with this, so pay attention. She presses one side and then folds over with the other, so we get a nice seal to the pasty. We don't want anything leaking out when we're cooking. So copy Charlie's technique here. Take your time, make sure it's nicely crimped. And we want to add a couple of little air holes into the pasty so that it releases steam while it's cooking in the oven. And then cover that in a beautiful egg wash to give it a nice glaze in the oven. Preheat your oven to about 180 degrees, and when warm we add our pasties, and we want those in the oven for about 35 minutes until the crust is nice and golden brown, and then we plate. Best served with some beautiful smoky barbecue beans, and if you want to know how to cook those, please check out my previous video. So there we have a beautiful West Country Cornish pasty, courtesy of Chef Charlie.